Ever wondered about the secret to getting 4 times the return on investment ROI for just 25% of your hourly wage? Don't get me wrong, this isn't a pitch for some financial product. It's about a formula that can completely transform how you work, ultimately unlocking both financial freedom and time freedom. And this formula is hidden in the blockbuster book by Back Your Time, a title that has long dominated the top spot on Amazon's business bestseller list. Its author, Dan Martell, is no armchair theorist. He's a proven hands-on expert who founded, scaled, and sold 3 tech companies successfully in a decade. He personally went from working 100 hours a week, on the verge of burnout from overexertion, to a time millionaire who now spends just 6 hours a week managing his 8-figure empire. The book's greatest strength lies in its ability to turn the elusive concept of time into a personal asset, one that can be accurately calculated, scientifically managed, and repurchased at a premium. It offers a complete, battle-tested framework, validated by countless successful founders, that teaches you how to calculate your unique buyback rate, audit your time expenditure like you would a financial statement, and identify the time thieves siphoning away your high-value time. This video is your top-tier investment guide to time assets, showing you how to adopt a CEO's perspective to execute the most critical acquisition of your life, using money to buy back the free, focused version of yourself that can create infinite value. Quick interlude. Starting today, click to download Chishui Music, a music streaming app, at the bottom left of the video, and you can listen to all my in-depth book analyses for free. You can adjust playback speed freely, create custom playlists, and even use it with your phone screen locked. Whether you're commuting, working out, or before bed, it's here to keep you company. Have you ever felt this way? You get a promotion, fancier title, higher salary, but when you wake up each day, all you feel is an overwhelming pile of work and endless meetings, not a sense of accomplishment. You've become the irreplaceable core of your team, but the cost is being the first to arrive and the last to leave the office. You have more and more, yet less and less time that's truly yours. This state of the harder you work, the more anxious you get, is the first and most sobering concept Dan Martell introduces in the book, the pain threshold. For most of us, this pain threshold acts like a career ceiling. Below this line, your effort is proportional to your reward. Work more overtime, learn more skills, and you'll get a promotion or raise. You feel motivated and driven. But once you cross this line, everything changes. Every step forward, whether taking on a more important project or managing a larger team, brings not joy, but doubled suffering, heavier responsibilities, more complicated relationships, and less personal life. At this point, your body and mind trigger a powerful self-protection mechanism, sending you signals in every way. Stop. You can't go further. One more step, and you'll break. And then, the strangest thing happens. Many people start to unconsciously sabotage themselves. In the book's terms, they quietly derail their careers in 3 ways. Escape, the most drastic. You might suddenly quit without another job lined up or hop from one job to another. You tell yourself you're chasing better opportunities, but the real voice in your heart says, I can't take this anymore. I just want to run away from my current life. You abandon the platform and resources you've worked so hard to build, all for a moment of relief. Slacking off, the most hidden. You talk about working hard, but your actions become marked by procrastination and indifference. For example, you'll find excuses to turn down a challenging project that could help you grow quickly, or you'll settle for only doing the safest, most familiar tasks, no longer proactively learning new skills, or you'll get hooked on mindless distractions, using fleeting pleasure to numb your dissatisfaction with the status quo. This is your subconscious speaking. Don't push so hard. More effort will only bring more pain. Stagnation, the most common. You'll tell yourself, I'm doing fine as I am. Stability comes first. You consciously reject opportunities that could take you to the next level, losing all interest in promotions. You comfort yourself by calling this a Buddhist-style attitude or being content with what you have. But the author points out sharply, in a highly competitive environment, standing still means being slowly left behind. When you choose to stagnate, younger, more dynamic talents are quietly gearing up to surpass you. So do you see it? This pain threshold is like a vicious cycle, trapping us in a loop of effort, pain, avoidance, stagnation. But is there a way for ordinary people like us to break free? Absolutely. And that breakthrough lies in the book's core, most transformative mindset shift. I want you to remember this as a life-changing mantra. The buyback principle: every dollar you spend shouldn't just be for consumption. It should be to strategically buy back your own time and energy. What was our old way of thinking? Money is for buying things, services, or happiness. That's a consumer mindset. The buyback principle teaches us to adopt an investment mindset. It argues that as the CEO of Life Incorporated, your most valuable asset isn't your savings, but your limited daily time and energy. So every time you spend money, you should ask yourself, will this dollar help me offload tasks I dislike, aren't good at, or that have low value? You spend money to free up time and energy, then redirect that freedom into higher return activities. Those that truly help you grow, bring you joy, and fulfill your life's purpose. This creates a beautiful virtuous cycle. You spend money to buy back time, use that high-quality time to learn, exercise, or build a side hustle, which boosts your earning potential and quality of life. Then you can use more money to buy back even more time. Your life keeps increasing in value, while you become more calm and free. Okay, this sounds incredibly appealing, but now comes the next, most practical question. How do I know which time is worth buying back? I only make so much money each month. Can I even afford it? Don't worry. The author provides the book's first and most powerful practical tool here. A precisely calculable number called your personal buyback rate. This number becomes the golden standard for all your future life decisions. The calculation is extremely simple, just 2 steps. Grab your phone's calculator and try it now. Calculate your actual after-tax hourly wage. First, figure out your total after-tax income from work over the past year. After-tax is key for accuracy. Take that total and divide it by 2,000. Why 2,000? Because that's roughly the number of working hours in a year for the average person. The result is the real value of 1 hour of your time right now. For example, if your annual after-tax income is 200,000 yuan, dividing by 2,000 gives you an hourly wage of 100 yuan. Calculate your personal buyback rate. Take the hourly wage you just calculated and divide it by 4. Yes, it's that simple. So for someone earning 200,000 yuan a year, 100 yuan per hour, their personal buyback rate is 25 yuan. What does this 25 yuan mean? It's your red line for time-related decisions. The author argues, for any household chore or errand you dislike doing, if you can find a service to outsource it for less than 25 yuan per hour, you should spend that money without hesitation to buy back that time. Because the hour you save can be used to learn a new skill that will make your future hourly wage exceed 100 yuan, build a side hustle for extra income, hit the gym for better health, or simply spend quality time with your kids or parents. The long-term returns of these activities far outweigh the 25 yuan you spend. I know what you might be thinking. I'm already frugal. Paying someone to do this feels like a luxury. But that's the mindset shift. This isn't consumption, it's an investment. You invest 25 yuan to get back 1 hour of high-value time and a more relaxed, focused version of yourself. The ROI of this investment can be far beyond your imagination. Okay, we now have a tool we can use right away, the personal buyback rate. This rate is like a key that unlocks the door to time freedom. But right now, you're only standing at the door. The world inside is entirely new. The next question is, with so many trivial tasks in life and endless to-dos at work, where do we start cutting first? Which are the energy vampires we should outsource first? And how do we scientifically categorize and track our time expenditure? That's what we'll dive into next. How to use a simple energy matrix to give your entire life a thorough CT scan. Alright friends, our toolkit now has a new Swiss Army knife called the personal buyback rate. But just like having an investment budget, we can't invest blindly. Before we start buying back time, we need to take stock of our assets. We need a clear map to show us which parts of work and life are core assets, and which are non-performing ones. Dan Martell gives us a powerful tool he calls the drip matrix. For easier understanding, we'll refer to it as the personal energy matrix, a true CT scanner for your life. This matrix is straightforward with just 2 dimensions. The horizontal axis represents the energy value a task brings you. The further right you go, the more energized and passionate you feel. The further left, the more drained you become. The vertical axis represents the value return of a task. The higher up you go, the greater the return. Using these two dimensions, you can place every daily task into one of 4 quadrants, clearly mapping out your current energy landscape. 1. The recharge quadrant, bottom right. Tasks here offer low, or even no direct, value returns but fill you with energy and joy. Examples include reading a casual book, working out at the gym, or chatting with a close friend for an afternoon. These activities are like power banks that nourish your life. Many people cut these tasks first when busy, but the author warns this is dangerous. Depriving yourself of recharge time long-term will eventually leave you completely burnt out. 2. The labor quadrant, bottom left. Tasks here are the opposite. They bring little value and drain your energy aggressively. This is where all household chores and trivial errands live. Cleaning, washing dishes, cooking, picking up packages, filing expense reports. These tasks are like the administrative logistics of your life incorporated. If you do them yourself, you're wasting your precious CEO time on work fit for a cleaner or receptionist. This quadrant is where you should prioritize buying back your time first. 3. The bottleneck quadrant, top left. This is the most dangerous and deceptive quadrant in the entire matrix. Tasks here deliver high-value returns, e.g., praise from your boss, but slowly kill your passion. Take a software engineer who's exceptionally good at writing technical documents, fast and high quality. Leaders and colleagues can't imagine work without them, but the engineer hates writing documents. Their true passion is solving technical challenges. For them, writing documents becomes a bottleneck. The better they are at it, the more trapped they get, until their passion is completely drained. Tasks here are your golden handcuffs. They lock you in with high returns but leave you unable to move forward. 4. The genius quadrant, top right, our ultimate goal. Tasks here are extraordinary. They deliver both extremely high-value returns and fill you with boundless energy and passion. Have you ever been so absorbed in a task that you lost track of time, entering a state of flow? When you finished, you didn't feel tired. Instead, you felt recharged. That's your genius quadrant, the place where your personal value shines brightest. Everything we do should ultimately aim to spend as much of life as possible in this radiant quadrant. Now, try drawing this matrix and filling in all the tasks you do each week. This map is like a CT scan report for your life. It clearly shows how healthy your energy levels are. But many people, after this analysis, realize they spend most of their time stuck in the 2 pain quadrants on the left. We know what we should do, so why can't we do it? Because 5 powerful progress blockers, called time assassins, in the book lurk within us. They're ingrained thought and behavior habits quietly holding us back. Mr. Overthinker, his catchphrase, "This is important. I need to research it more." A fantastic opportunity lands in front of you, but you delay making a decision, paralyzed by fear of uncertainty. You think you're being cautious, but you're actually procrastinating. Ms. Hasty Doer, her catchphrase, "Just do it first, think later." She acts fast but never reflects, repeatedly making the same mistakes and wasting huge amounts of effort on useless work. The overly worried parent, their inner monologue, "Sigh, I'll just do it myself. I can't trust others with this." At work or home, you unconsciously play the role of super nanny, exhausting yourself while everyone around you becomes more and more dependent on you. The penny pincher, their mantra, "Save wherever you can. Spending money is wasteful." Your computer lags like a tractor, but you tell yourself, "It still works." You don't realize the small amounts you're saving are being drained double in the far more expensive currency of time. The stress-eating/entertainment addict, their pattern. "This is too hard. I need to reward/numb myself." When stress spikes, you turn to cheap dopamine fixes, binge eating, mindlessly scrolling short videos, trapping yourself in a vicious cycle of stress indulgence, more emptiness. Friends, how many of these 5 blockers do you see in yourself? With this, our life CT scan is complete. and we have a clear diagnosis report. Now, the most critical step is the treatment plan. How do we systematically, step by step, break free from the 2 left quadrants, defeat these 5 blockers, and finally move into our genius quadrant? That's the core question we'll solve in the next section. We've completed our self-diagnosis. We've clarified our life's balance sheet, identified the bad habits holding us back, and now hold both our diagnosis report and personal buyback rate. So what's next? Many people make a mistake at this stage. Random liberation. Today, you're annoyed by cleaning, so you hire an hourly cleaner. Tomorrow, you're tired of making PPTs, so you want to find an intern. This hit-or-miss approach solves immediate problems, but is unstructured, inefficient, and easy to abandon halfway. Author Dan Martell tells us this is like leveling up in a game. You must follow a clear path, advancing 1 level at a time. To this end, he presents the book's core strategic model, the replacement ladder. Originally designed for companies, it translates perfectly to everyday life as a personal liberation roadmap, clearly outlining the order in which you should free yourself from different layers of drudgery. The ladder has 5 levels, and its magic lies in this rule. You must climb them in order. Level 1, liberate administration. Do you often feel trapped, drowned in countless trivial tasks, unable to find blocks of time for meaningful work? If yes, you're at level 1 of the ladder. This level focuses on freeing yourself from all administrative tasks in life. Exactly the work in the labor quadrant. Cleaning, laundry, cooking, bill paying. The goal here is simple. Use your personal buyback rate as a guide to outsource as much of this manual, repetitive labor as possible. Remember our core principle. This is not consumption, it's investment. You invest a small amount of money to buy back hours of uninterrupted time, and more importantly, a clear, clutter-free mind no longer distracted by trivialities. Level 2, liberate delivery. When you reach level 2, you may feel stuck. You're busy every day, your professional skills are strong, but you hit a bottleneck, spending most of your time on tasks you're good at, with no time to think or learn. This level frees you from the delivery phase of your core skills, the highly repetitive, low creativity parts, exactly the bottleneck quadrant. For example, a content creator outsources video editing and subtitle work. A top salesperson outsources presentation design and client data organization. Here, the author shares an incredibly useful golden rule, the 10-80-10 rule. It means, for any task, you handle the first 10%, setting direction, brainstorming ideas. Delegate the middle 80%, the time-consuming, heavy execution, to others or tools. You return to handle the final 10%, reviewing and finalizing. This way, you ensure the quality of the end result and free yourself from tedious execution. Level 3, liberate marketing. At level 3, you may feel held back by low visibility. You might have a great skill or side hustle, but Goodwine fears no market no longer applies. You spend most of your energy creating products or services, while promoting yourself leaves you drained. This level frees you from marketing yourself. For side hustlers, this means outsourcing social media management or content distribution to professionals or tools. For regular professionals, marketing is about building your personal brand. Liberating this work helps you shift from waiting for opportunities to consistently creating opportunities for yourself. Level 4, liberate sales. This level is mainly for those earning money through side hustles or freelancing. When you reach here, you realize every money-related task depends on you. You're making money, but you haven't gained true freedom. This level frees you from the sales process. You need to build a standardized system, or even hire a virtual assistant to handle most client communications. The author warns this is extremely hard, since you're often your own best salesperson. So you must remember this mindset. If someone else can do 80% of the job, that's 100% amazing. Level 5, liberate leadership and management. If you climb to level 5 successfully, congratulations. You've entered a state of flow in life. You're no longer an executor dragged around by trivial tasks. You've become the true CEO of your life incorporated. At this level, you've liberated almost all hands-on work. The large blocks of time you've bought back, are dedicated to the rarest, most important task of all, strategic thinking. Finally, you can calm down and plan. What's my 5-year life blueprint? Which direction should I develop my core competitiveness? How should I manage my family's assets? You see, this 5-level ladder is a clear path to evolve step by step from a chaotic executor to a strategic mastermind who plans with foresight. We now have this liberation roadmap, but you might wonder, no matter how good the roadmap is, how do I take the first step? How do I find the first person or service to help me outsource administrative trivialities? And how do I ensure they do the job well and without hassle? Don't worry, this is exactly the problem we'll solve in the next section. This book will reveal to you how to find your first time lever and teach you how to use small sums of money to drive a massive boost in personal productivity. In the previous section, we obtained the liberation ladder leading to freedom, and we know the first step to climb is to free ourselves from administrative tasks in life. But at the mention of this, many people may immediately feel discouraged because in the book, the author's solution is to hire an administrative assistant. For most ordinary people like us, this feels like a plot from a city drama, far removed from our daily lives. Does this mean our journey of life upgrading will end before it even begins? Absolutely not. The core idea the author presents in this chapter is not hiring someone, but building leverage. We need to find the fulcrum with the lowest cost and highest return to drive a huge improvement in our personal productivity. For a top executive, this leverage might be a full-time assistant. But for ordinary people like us, our first time lever is not a specific person, but a productivity toolkit. This kit is like a 24/7 virtual assistant, low in cost but astonishingly powerful. It mainly consists of 3 components. 1. Paid apps and services. Many people are used to free software and think paying for apps is not worth it. But we must recalculate the cost using the buyback rate mindset. For example, a to-do list management app that costs 50 yuan per month. If it saves you 15 minutes of chaotic time every day through reminders and planning, it will save you over 7 hours in a month. You spend 50 yuan to buy back more than 7 hours of high-quality time. What a high ROI that is. Another example, a cloud storage service that automatically syncs files across all your devices, so you no longer have to rummage through your computer and phone to find a single file. These are your digital employees. They work tirelessly and efficiently for you. 2. Hourly workers and errand services. This is where your personal buyback rate truly shines. Suppose your buyback rate is 25 yuan per hour, and there's a household chore you find extremely tedious, like deep cleaning the kitchen. Doing it yourself takes 3 hours, leaving you with a sore back and a bad mood. But hiring a professional cleaner for 120 yuan, 40 yuan per hour, gets the job done in 1.5 hours, and much more thoroughly than you could. Financially, it may seem like a loss since 40 yuan is higher than your 25 yuan rate. But in reality, you spend 120 yuan to buy back 3 hours of free time, a clean home, and more importantly, a good mood while avoiding potential family conflicts that might arise from the chore. No matter how you calculate it, this is a great deal. 3. A game changer. Many may still be unfamiliar with remote virtual assistants. This is already very popular overseas and is becoming more common in China. It means you can hire a professional assistant from anywhere in the world via certain platforms, paying by the hour, to help you complete specific tasks that can be done remotely. For example, when planning a family trip, the most annoying parts are comparing prices, researching travel guides, and booking hotels and flights. You can spend 200 to 300 yuan to hire a virtual assistant, tell them all your needs, and have them organize a perfect document with all booking links and an itinerary plan. Another example, transcribing meeting recordings into text, or entering a pile of business card information into a spreadsheet. Tasks that are painful and time-consuming for you can be completed efficiently by a virtual assistant. It's like having an on-call super secretary. You only pay when you need them, with no fixed cost pressure. Now you know what this time lever consists of, but which part of your life should you use it to leverage first? The author gives an extremely clear answer. The most important job of an assistant is to take over your inboxes and calendar. For us, this means we must first free ourselves from these 2 biggest time black holes. The first black hole, your inboxes. This includes your email, WeChat, and DingTalk. Think carefully, are these tools still just for communication? No, they have become a public to-do list. A place where anyone in the world, your boss, colleagues, clients, even notifications from various apps, can assign you tasks at any time and demand an immediate response. This leads to a terrifying consequence. Every day when you wake up, before you even have time to think, what's the most important thing today? You're already being led around by unread messages and reminders. Your day is not guided by your own plans, but by others' needs. You're not actively creating value, but passively responding to the world. How to take back control. The author provides a systematic method called the email GPS system, a sort of information organization audit. We can adapt it into a personal information GPS system to manage all your information inlets. The core idea of this system is, your goal is not to live in your inbox, but to process your inbox as quickly as possible and then leave it. The specific method is to create clear categorized folders or labels for all your information. We've localized this approach. You can set them up directly as follows. Folder 1, due today, add an exclamation mark to keep it pinned to the top. This folder holds tasks that must be handled by you personally and completed the same day. It's the core of your daily work, and your goal is to empty it before the workday ends. Folder 2, to reply later, tasks that require a reply but are not urgent. You can set a rule to handle these only twice a day, at 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Folder 3, to read/reference, all articles you save, materials/reports sent by others, and industry news. Remember, this is your personal library, not your to-do list. Folder 4, awaiting response. When you send an email or need someone's cooperation on a task, move the relevant information here. This keeps your main inbox clean and gives you a clear list to check and follow up on progress once a week. Folder 5, financial documents, all electronic invoices, bills, and reimbursement vouchers. Take a quick look and file them here directly to build a digital document storage box. With this GPS system, your daily work shifts from, what should I do? To a few simple, professional steps. Process. Due today, respond to reply later messages in batches check. Awaiting response. Once a week file documents. Once these are done, close your inboxes and focus on the most important tasks. More importantly, this process will bring you an unprecedented sense of control and clarity. So friends, finding your first time lever is all about building a new mindset, using low-cost tools and services to systematically solve the most frequent, energy-draining problems in your life. And the starting point is to take back control of your attention from the ocean of information through the personal information GPS system. When you do this, you'll no longer be a top spinning passively, but the helmsman of your own time. But what about more complex professional tasks at work? This requires us to learn a more advanced skill, which we'll cover in the next section. How to softwareize your own successful experiences and build your very own success copier. We've found our time lever, but now we face a deeper challenge. What about complex, skill-intensive core tasks that we must handle ourselves? We can't exactly outsource our brains, can we? Well, surprisingly, we can, sort of. Author Dan Martell proposes a brilliant concept called playbooks in the book, which we can understand as softwareizing your life experiences. What does this mean? Think about it. Our brains are best at creating, thinking, and connecting different ideas, but they are terrible at storing tedious, repetitive process information like a hard drive. Yet every day, we force our brains to do what they're worst at. The core idea of this book is, a replicable good is far more valuable than an unreplicable excellent. You might be in top form once and create a stunning PPT, or have a burst of inspiration and write a viral article. But can you replicate that success next time? Not necessarily. True experts never rely on occasional flashes of inspiration. Instead, they rely on a stable, reliable system to ensure consistent, high-quality output. To softwareize your life experiences means to unload the valuable lessons you've learned through countless trials and errors, lessons that are unreliably stored in your brain, into an external, tangible system. That system is your personal playbook. The moment you hear "write a playbook," you might feel overwhelmed, assuming it's an extremely tedious, massive project. Don't worry, the author shares a genius, lazy-friendly method here, which we can call "record a tutorial for your future self." Derived from the book's camera method, it's incredibly simple to execute but surprisingly effective. Think back. Have you ever spent hours mastering an advanced feature of a complex software or figuring out a tedious expense reimbursement process, only to forget everything 3 months later when you need it again, forcing you to start from scratch? That frustrating feeling is all too familiar, right? Experience Videoization is here to end this pain. The method is simple. Next time you tackle any task that's somewhat complex, infrequently used but necessary, just open a screen recording tool. As you perform the task, narrate your actions aloud, like a teacher explaining a lesson to yourself. For example, okay, first step, open this website, then find the advanced settings in the top right corner. Note, there's a trap here. Make sure to turn off this option first, otherwise you'll get an error. After recording, give the video a clear title, e.g., Tutorial for Advanced Data Export in Software Name, and save it to a dedicated folder named My Personal Tutorial Library. This process takes almost no extra time, since you were already going to do the task anyway. But its long-term benefits are obvious. 3 months later, when you need to do the task again, you won't scratch your head trying to remember. Just open your video, spend 5 minutes reviewing it, and you'll be ready to go. It's like having an external memory hard drive. Even better, if you ever need to hand this task over to a new colleague or team member, you don't even have to explain it verbally. Just send them the video. With these recorded tutorials as raw materials, we can start building a more complete personal playbook. A good personal playbook doesn't need to be lengthy. It only needs to include 4 core elements, known as the 4 Cs in the book. Core process. Write down the key steps of a task in the most concise language. For example, the core process of a weekly review playbook could be: review last week's calendar and to-do list, clear all information inboxes, summarize 3 highlights and shortcomings from last week, plan the 3 most important tasks for next week. No need for details, just a clear framework. Cadence. Define when and how often to do the task. For the weekly review playbook, the cadence could be every Sunday night at 9 p.m., estimated to take 30 minutes. Writing this down is a commitment to yourself, helping you turn good ideas into unshakable habits. Checklist. This is the most powerful part of the playbook. It turns complex tasks into follow-and-check, foolproof processes instantly. The author gives an example in the book. Senior pilots with tens of thousands of hours of experience must strictly follow a checklist before every takeoff. Why? Because they know the human brain gets tired and makes mistakes, but a checklist never does. We need to apply this logic to life. Outsource the memory function to a reliable piece of paper. Galip. Attach links to the personal tutorials you recorded earlier with the camera method to the playbook document. When you need details, you can click the link and watch the video anytime, like adding a dynamic instruction manual to your playbook. You see, combine these 4 elements and a powerful personal playbook is born. You can create such a playbook for any repetitive task in your life. At this point, you might think, goodness, making life this structured sounds exhausting, like being a robot, right? On the contrary, we build these systems precisely to avoid being robots. Think carefully. How much of your precious mental energy is wasted on repetitive, trivial decisions every day? How did I format this report last time? Which muscle group should I train first at the gym today? These questions are like countless small programs running secretly in your brain's background, draining your CPU and memory. Building a personal playbook means writing and solidifying these small programs once and for all, letting them run automatically in the background. You're making hundreds or thousands of small future decisions in one go. The ultimate goal of this is to free your most valuable mental resources from trivial memory management, so you can channel your full CPU into core problems that truly require wisdom, creativity, and empathy to solve. So friends, softwareizing your experiences isn't about making you rigid. It's about making you freer, more focused, and more creative. By now, we've learned to free up our time and brain, gradually clearing out plenty of precious, blank space in life. Now we must answer the ultimate question. What kind of painting should we create with this blank space we've worked so hard to clear? What kind of future are we really pursuing? This is the answer we'll reveal in our final and most exciting section. Alright friends, we've finally reached our last stop. We've learned how to buy back our time step by step, but a profound and crucial question follows. What is freedom for? If you truly had a lot of free time to spend as you wish, what would you do with it? Would you enjoy a moment of leisure, only to sink into deeper confusion and emptiness? The author tells us absolutely not. Buying back time isn't about aimless early retirement. It's about concentrating our most precious resources to achieve a grander life goal. This grand goal is what the author calls a 10x vision. It's not a vague wish, but a clear future blueprint that feels almost within reach. The author says, when you can describe your future with the same clarity as you describe your present, you have a vision that can truly drive your life. This vision mainly covers 4 dimensions of life. Your team. In 10 years, what kind of friends, partners, and mentors do you want to surround yourself with? Your core venture. In the field you love most, what heights do you want to reach, and what masterpieces do you want to create? Your life legacy. Through your expertise or hobbies, what positive impact do you want to leave on the world? Your lifestyle. What kind of health, living environment, and family relationships do you want to have? With the 10x vision as our North Star, we still need an annual navigation map to keep us from straying off course. That's what the author calls preloading your year. This method draws on the famous big rocks theory. Life is like a jar. You must first place the big rocks. Family, travel, important anniversaries, learning plans into the jar. Only then can daily work and trivial tasks, the sand, fill the remaining gaps. Conversely, if you let the sand fill your days first, there will be no room left for life's most important big rocks. The specific steps for preloading your year are, at the end of each year, take out the next year's brand new calendar and schedule all your big rocks first, non-negotiably. Then add your weekly fixed routines, the small pebbles, such as working out, dates, or studying. Finally, let daily work and ad hoc tasks, the sand, fill the remaining time. This way, you ensure your life never deviates from its most important path. So friends, this path, from the pain threshold to preloading your year, is the life upgrade blueprint the book outlines for us. At the end of the book, the author says his goal is to build a life you never need a vacation from, because he already lives every day exactly as he wants. This is perhaps the book's ultimate meaning. It's not just a set of time management skills, but a mindset for life design. It invites us, starting today, to stop being passive responders in our lives and start truly acting as the CEO of our life incorporated, to proactively create a future worth investing our whole hearts in. Thank you all for watching. See you next time with our next book.